If you're looking to fund your new LLC, I got you. In this video, I'll show you how you can get approved for 0% business funding up to $50,000 with no docs. In fact, all of the banks mentioned in this video has given me more than $250,000 in business credit. If you stick to the end, I even give you more nuggets to maximize your business funding. When it comes to securing business funding, I often see businesses searching and requesting capital only when I need it. It should actually be the other way around. The best time to secure business funding or lines of credit is when you don't need it. The funny thing is that this is when banks are more likely to extend you funding. When you're desperate for credit, they usually say no. But when you don't need it, that's when they say yes. This is one of the main reasons why I see a lot of businesses fail or grow through hardships, because they don't have the access to funding or capital that they need to grow. The best part about the lenders that I'll share is that you don't need to be an established revenue generating business. You could have formed a brand new LLC yesterday and get access to business funding today. The goal of this video is to give you access to 0% interest business credit cards without requiring proof of income or revenue. And these are from real banks and lenders, not worthless net 30 accounts or store credit cards. These business credit cards can cover expenses like paying contractors, payroll, and ads, you name it. Before we go further, you need a good to excellent credit score. This will give you the best opportunities and the highest credit limits. This means that you should aim at least for a credit score of 680, but a score in the 700s is preferable. A score below 700 means that you have some account issues, so you need to fix them before moving forward. And that's okay. Don't let this stop you from learning this information and getting business funding. It's just gonna take you some more time. You definitely can do this yourself. I have plenty of videos on my YouTube channel to help you with that. For a faster, easy way, you can just try out my software, Credit Rehab Pro, which is linked up here or down in the description. So let's get into the list. The first one will be with Bank of America. Right now, they offer several credit cards with 0% APR for the first 9 billing cycles. These offers change all the time, so depending on when you watch this video, double check to make sure that you're getting the best deal. With Bank of America, you can get approved for up to 3 business credit cards if you want. But in an ideal situation, the first 2 will provide you with the greatest value. So it's usually not worth getting a 3rd business credit card with them. Depending on your geographic location, they will usually pull from Experian or TransUnion. If you are unsure about which credit bureau that they use, freeze your credit, then unfreeze it once they request it. To improve your odds of getting higher credit lines, open a Bank of America business checking account. Then deposit at least $500. It's also a good idea to have other accounts with them, like a personal checking account or a personal credit card. Once you've done that, you can go ahead and apply for one of their business credit cards, and after you get approved, you can apply for another one. Next is Chase Bank. This is actually one of the first places where I got a business credit card from. At the time, I've been a Chase banking customer for a few years, and then I decided to open up a business credit card. I didn't even have an LLC yet, but I had an EIN. I applied in branch, so that might have improved my chances. If you have a new LLC, then they may contact you. All they really want is just to confirm your identity and ensure that you're using it for business expenses. In most cases, this is usually what they'll ask for. At the moment, they have 2 credit cards that have no annual fees, and you can get them with 0% APR for the first 12 months. So what to keep in mind with Chase is that relationship building really helps. If you have a personal bank account or credit cards with Chase, then this may increase your chances of approval. Now with their business credit cards, you can get approved for 2 Chase business credit cards within 30 days. On top of that, you can actually get 1 credit card based on your own social security number and the other one with your EIN number. So this is how I had many Chase business credit cards for different businesses in the past. Now, one thing that you have to keep in mind about Chase business credit cards is that they do fall under the 524 rule. This rule states if you open up 5 personal credit cards within the past 24 months, you will not get approved for another Chase credit card. So to clarify, if you open 4 or fewer personal cards in the past 24 months, then apply. If it's more than that, then just wait until you're under that. But the weird thing about Chase business credit cards is that once you get approved, it does not count towards your 524. They will mostly pull from your Experian credit report. Sometimes they do pull from 2 bureaus, so this can either be Equifax or TransUnion. It really just depends on your location. Now let's keep it moving with our next bank, US Bank. If you are well qualified, you can get 0% interest for up to 18 billing cycles. Like with most lenders, they really value building relationships when it comes to credit cards. So my advice is the same as any other banks on this list. So start by opening up a business checking account with US Bank, make a deposit, and then establish that relationship. They have a free business checking account called Silver Business. I would deposit some cash in it, let it sit for about 30 days before applying for one of their business credit cards. I'm not saying that you can't get approved without a checking account or any prior relationship with them, but your chances are going to be way higher if you take this route. By doing so, you're going to increase your likelihood of having a higher credit limit, and that's what we want. Having a plan is the difference between a $5,000 limit or a $50,000 limit. When it comes to credit bureaus, they mostly pull from TransUnion, but they can pull from any of the three depending on where you live. Moving on to our next company, which will be Marcus by Goldman Sachs. They offer the GM Business Credit Card, which is a hidden gem. The great thing about this card is that you can apply with no impact to your credit score before accepting the application. So it is a great place to start if you're unsure about your credit. They offer a business credit card with 0% APR on purchases for the first 12 months. After that, the rate becomes variable. Plus, you can get a bonus with this card. You can earn $750 after spending $5,000 within the first 5 months. What's really nice about this card is that they pull from your Equifax personal credit score. Many other cards on this list will check your Experian. If you want to gain more business credit, applying for cards that pulls from different credit bureaus will give you more funding options. Up next is American Express. I like American Express quite a bit, just due to the fact that once you're in, it's much easier to get more credit cards. But if you're new to credit, your odds of getting approved by American Express are very low. They are much better for someone with a year of history and a few credit cards. I recommend getting a personal card with them first. My first American Express card was the Platinum card, so I went straight to the high annual fee one. The benefits offset the fee for me. The thing I like about Amex is that they do have a feature called Apply with Confidence. So you know exactly whether or not you're approved without any impact to your credit score. So once you join American Express, applying for the other cards would likely only give you a softball. Now, there has been rare cases when you try to apply for a business card when you only had personal cards that it may result in a hard pull. This didn't happen to me, but your mileage may vary. Another thing to keep in mind is that American Express, they typically pull from Experian. They are also pretty generous when it comes to credit limits. They also have this unwritten rule where you can get 3x credit limits increased in 90 days with only a soft pull. I have personally done this on many accounts on different cards. The next bank that we will be talking about will be PNC. Now, they have many business credit cards with no annual fee, but I would just focus on the Visa Business Credit Card. The reason being is that this one gives you 0% intro APR on balance transfers in the first 90 days. So this will be a great card to pair with other cards that have balances or doesn't offer an intro 0% APR. So when it comes to applying, you need to open up a business checking account with them first. To open an account, you need to deposit at least $100. To avoid a $12 fee, you need to maintain a $500 monthly average balance. So your best bet is to just open an account with $500. Also, it is suggested that you have a personal account or credit cards with them. This will improve your odds of getting a business credit card. Now, when it comes to credit bureaus, they will pull from your Experian. The next bank that we will be covering will be Truist Financial. Truist do limit the areas that they do serve. Currently, they only operate in 18 states and mostly of them are on the East Coast. But there is a workaround for this if you have a business elsewhere. So with this bank, you will typically need to have at least a 620 credit score, which is a lower entry point compared to the major banks. They are also bankruptcy friendly as long as the bankruptcy has been discharged for 4 years or longer and the individual has a credit score of 650 or higher. Data shows that Truist can give you 3 credit card approvals within a week. It's likely that you can get 2 approvals within the same day with only a soft inquiry through Equifax. But which card should you get? I only recommend 2, the ones that don't have an annual fee, which is the Business Cash Rewards and the Business Card. So both of these have a 0% APR for 9 to 12 months. Like with many banks on this list, it is best to have a business checking account with them. Data points show that you're likely to get a higher limit with an account than without one when you apply. Also, you may have better chances of approval if you walk in branch. Now, let's review some key tips. They will help you get approved for the highest credit limits with these lenders. The first thing to cover is your business structure. If you haven't already, create an LLC in your state. I recommend using Busy, which is formerly known as InkFile. They allow you to form an LLC in your state for free with the Silver package. All you have to pay is the state fees. When creating your LLC, try to keep your business name as basic and broad as possible, depending on the type of business that you're starting. Avoid names tied to high-risk industries like cannabis, gambling, and real estate. Also, avoid credit repair and debt consolidation. This is important because your business can be flagged based on the name alone, making it harder to secure business funding. When it comes to your application, the revenue section is based on stated income. In 99% of cases, lenders won't request for proof of income or documentation unless you're trying to secure higher credit limits, usually over $50,000. Now, I'm not condoning lying or anything like that, but it is okay to state what you're expected to make even if you haven't started to earn that yet. For example, if your average revenue for that type of business is $60,000 a year, it's perfectly fine to list that as your expected revenue. On the other hand, you won't get penalized for putting 0, but you will have better odds of getting higher credit limits if you provide your projected income. So I actually went over this with an account manager when I applied for a Chase credit card in branch. He asked me what I thought the average business in my industry made on a monthly or yearly basis, plus what I expected my expenses will be. And this was before I even started earning or spending on my business. Remember, since you are using your personal credit score, it will be personally guaranteed. So your personal income will play a role in the credit limit that you will be able to get as well. My third tip is that if you get denied or a low credit limit, call the reconsideration line or customer service. You can ask them to reverse the application decision or increase your credit limit. Now, as a disclaimer, if you ask for a consideration, they will probe deeper into your business. This also applies when you're requesting for a higher credit limit. If you need a higher credit limit for something specific like purchasing inventory, just make sure that you explain your situation clearly. The worst thing that they can do is say no, but if you don't ask, you're automatically taking the loss. If your personal credit can't get you business credit, it's okay. Take your time and work on improving your personal credit first. Business credit is achievable for anyone who's willing to take the leap. To learn more about credit repair or business credit, join my free community, The Credit Collective. You can find more info up here or down in the description.